It's time to end out the regular season of the Target Series, season number 7, here at the Richmond International Raceway, under the lights, 3/4 mile short track oval in Virginia. It is the Toyota Care 250, the last race for these Target Series drivers to make the season number 7 Target Series chase. Coming into this race, a few drivers have locked up spots in the postseason. Ryan Taylor, Michael Canto, William Bullen, and Eli Bright are the 4 drivers that know they will be fighting for a championship come the chase time. 5th on down, still yet to be decided, and is definitely the closest it will be among any of the series. Code Luigi in the 33 has the pole position to defend the best starting spot. He needs a 32nd place finish or better to lock up a spot into the postseason. Anthony Hernandez in the 1-2 is outside. Then Eli Bright in 3rd, Marshall Burrow in 4th, and rounding out the top 5 is Danny Lloyd. In 6th, we have Luke Rainey. He is right now 22nd in the point standings. If he gets a win, he'll be in. He's 20 points from a top 20 spot. And you have Roman Fenway there in the 7th position. John Gambit in 8th. 9th place, Blake Petras and Jason Larker rounds out the top 10. Rest of the field, Marcus Sachi, who's inside. Landon Last has to be feeling the best about his point situation. He's currently in the chase, has finished 36th or better to lock it up. Then Mathis Wells in the 20 and Justin Heath in the 00. Then we have Sebastian Kukulon and Alexander Rowe, along with Levi Shones and Ryan Brommer. Then there's Evan Hunter and Anthony Charbois. Jennifer Beefer with Jay Jefferson. Then Derek Hamill and Jake Galloway. Trey Rainey with Michael Canto. And Jeff Bright and Jacob Davidson. James DeCurligan and Ryan Taylor. And there's Mitchell Collins and Josephine O'Neill. Anna McDowell with Riley Spurley-Tube. And we have George Cooper and Greg Torres. William Bullen with Paul Taylor. And there's Max Anderson and Albert Galloway. And in the final row, Jim Gambit in the 40, who's outside the 66 of Jonathan Buford. So there's our sound lap for the Toyota Care 250. But once again, we're going to go over some of these scenarios for some of these drivers to get into the postseason. I mentioned Landlines and Code Luigi, the 2 best off. They'll have to finish 36th and 32nd better to lock in a spot. Once again, they can finish lower than that and still make it. This is just if a perfect scenario happens for the driver in 11th. Then, 7th in points, Oliver Galloway needs a 26th place finish to lock it up. Sebastian Kukulon needs a 24th finish. Needs a 24th place finish in 8th to lock up a spot. And then 9th and 10th are Adam McDowell and Mathis Wells. They cannot lock in. They just need to be perfect here tonight. McDowell's only 8 points above the cutoff. Mathis Wells a slim 3 points. That is a position for Wells. One position could swing this whole thing. And then Max Anderson is the first wildcard spot. Right now, 11th in points. With his win, he's 3 points out. Jason Larker is 8 points out in the 04. Then Greg Torres is 10 out in 13th. 14th is Blake Petras, only 14 points out. And the second wildcard goes to John Gambit, who is 15th, 21 out. And then Josephine O'Neill, 16th, 22 out. And 17th is Jay Jefferson, 38 out. And then Jeff Bright, 18th, needs a Richmond miracle, which he has done in the past. He's 48 out. Evan Hunter is 19th, 52 out. And Roman Fenway has that win. He's 20th in points. He's only 60 points out. He's only about 39 points behind John Gambit, so he could get up to a wildcard spot. 21st, Derek Hamill could possibly need to get up inside the top 10 right now, 75 points out. Luke Rainey, 22nd. He's 80 points out of the top 10, but 20 points from the top 20. He has a win, so he could get up and try and get up ahead of John Gambit. He's only 59 points from doing that. But a second win and 20 points will get him into the top 20 and into a wildcard position. Marshall Burrow, 23rd, 112 back, needs everything to go perfect for him. Then Trey Rainey is 115 back in 24th. He's going to likely need another victory. He needs 55 points as well to get to the top 20. And then 26th and 29th in points. Ryan Brommer and Jonathan Buford both have a win, and they need a win because they're over 100 points from the top 20. So if they win, they still are not locked in because of how far back they are. So enough talking about the points. Let's see how it plays out here at Richmond. Let's go down track. So I guess the man to fire these engines up for the Toyota Care 250. We saw a crazy Pennzoil Truck Series race last night to make the chase. 4 wide action and surprises and the closest margins to make into the chase. Will it happen like that here tonight? Slim points separating the top 10. They're about 15th or 16th. Let's get going. 38 laps, green at Richmond. Eli Bright, 4 wins on the season, leads lap 1. Denny Lloyd in the 21 through to second. Here comes Roman Fenway, the 07. Remember, we said he is 20th in points. A win will get him into the chase. He's looking for his second of the season. To the inside for the lead, Danny Lloyd in the 21. They get by. Eli Bright clear through 3 and 4. Fenway through to second. Here comes Blake Peters from the 15. He's only a few points out of the chase. 14 to be exact. We'd have to get by Mathews, Wilson, and McDowell. They're right now the last two. And Roman Fenway to the lead. 3 wide for third. Down the backstretch. Landon Lyons in the 60 to the bottom. Wells, the 20 is coming forward. This is what he needs. He wants 5 points. He's only 3 points in over the cup. Only 3 measly points. In a race series where he gained 148 in a race, that's not that many points. So Wells, not safe at all here tonight. For the lead, Landon Lyons to the inside, Roman Fenway. Lyons will get it. He'll lead the lap. That number 60 out front, just helping his chances out. Remember, he said 36 or better to lock his way in, but he could still finish worse than that, especially now that he has some 5 bonus points. Roman Fenway looking back for the lead. Mathews Wells looking for the lead as well in the 20. Here comes Kaluja, the 33 to the bottom lane. Luigi starting on points and lead a lap. He's found way back down the line, right now in the 4th position and hunting down the front 3. Turn 1. We're talking about how close these points are. One small swing could change everything about this season. I mean, from about 9th to 20th, they're only separated by about 70 points. So anything can happen. Roman Fenway continues to rack up laps led, which is big for his point situation. He's in 20th in points with a victory. He could leapfrog John Gibb. He's only about 60 points from that. We just have to see. Again, some of these drivers, they're not controlling their own fates. Other drivers are controlling their fates. It all depends for Fenway how John Gibb does, or if Fenway can just get out here and win. Here comes Mathews Wells in turn 1 looking to the inside. He wants those 5 points. We mentioned 3 points above the cutoff for Mathews Wells in the 20 team. He clears to turn 3, but can he hold it down to the bottom of 3 and 4? He slides up. Can Luigi steal the lap lead? Here they come. Wells wants these 5 points. They'll get in the drag race to lead lap 8. So Wells 5 points. He's now 8 points out of the cutoff. But now as he follows up on the outside, we'll see if he can find his way back down in line. Landon Lyons to 60, through back to 3rd. How about Jay Jefferson up to 4th? He won here at Richmond a few seasons ago. It was season number 4, I believe, to get his way into the postseason. They've been season 3. But he won here at Richmond. It was his only victory in the season, and that's what got him into the chase because we were in the win and you're in system at that point in time. Flying up the racetrack goes Landon Lyons. Jay Jefferson takes it to get to 3rd. Jefferson might need a win here tonight to break his way into the top 10 or into a wild card position. He's currently right now 17th in points, is only 38 points out of the top 10. But a win would definitely probably leapfrog in the head of John Gamet, depending on how Gamet does. As for the lead, Fenway again to the inside of Luigi. And Fenway leads the lap. And turn 1, Luigi up the racetrack in the 33. He'll drop back. Now Mathews Wells in the 23 wide with Jay Jefferson. That is for second. Jefferson to the inside, 3 wide. Wells slides up with Luigi. Wells cannot afford, Luigi can. Yeah, Wells cannot afford that mistake. Luigi can, because he's basically in at this point. How about Levi Jones? Not in the season he's won. He's up inside the top 3. He doesn't have a shot to make the chase. He can still perform well tonight and try and turn the season around, get a few wins before the season's out. Fenway doing a great job. He has the strongest car so far tonight from what I've been seeing. But Jay Jefferson has clawed his way through the field to get inside the top 2, looking for a lap lead right here. Oh, he goes up the racetrack through 1-2 into sharp ball to the bottom of the 32. And points to Ryan Taylor up inside the top 5. Up to 5th, going for 3rd. The 23 has been so strong here in this regular season. They can keep it going throughout this chase. It'll be pretty big for that 23 team. They've had the best car this season, week in and week out. Lyons come back forward the 60. Wells drives it back down to the bottom. How about Trey Rainey? Mentioned he needs a win. He's up here. Adam McDowell, the 16. We're just about to go look for him, but here he's just outside the top 10. He's also one that's barely in. Only 8 points in over the cutoff. Into Charles Block after the race at the 32. And now on the outside trying to fall back is Roman Fenway. Ryan Taylor looks for the lead. 23 car. Gonna take it to turn 3. How about Ryan Taylor? Landon Lyons through the second to 60. Almost halfway through this event already. So time is running out for drivers trying to make their way to the front. Trey Raines found his way inside the top 5. Look at him, contact! Taylor into the wall. Around they go with Mathis Wells. He's just inside, doesn't get hit at all. He does. How bad's the damage? Big crash. Big hits. Mathis Wells only 3 points in. Collins goes from John Gibbons, the A7 involved. Remember, he's one of our wild cards. Collins. There's Max Harrison. He was only 3 points out. Yellow flag in the air. And chase implications. Blake Petrus involved. He's only 14 points out of the cutoff. Collins is done. Walker, the 04, was only 8 points out. He's got damage. Max Harrison only 3 points out. Does this open the door for someone like Greg Torres or O'Neill to try and get there? Look at the damage to the 66. Jonathan Beaver needed a win here tonight. It's not going to happen. That was John Gammon's car, the A7. He had the second wild card, 21 points out. He's staying out on the racetrack. Cantor, the 24, heavy damage coming down pit road, but he's already locked in. Jeffrey Buford damage, the 62. Eli Bright may have missed it. Torres looks like he missed it. Jeff Bright, the 3, has damage. Mentioned his chances probably we're riding on a win here tonight. It looks like that win may have just gotten a lot harder for that 3. We'll see how the damage is, though, and where it is. Looks like everyone else should be fine here further forward. But we'll see what happens. Mathis Wells for a spin down the backstretch. The 20 car done for the night. And are those the 3 points that he's going to miss the chase by? We'll see what happened. Caution is out around halfway. We saw this with the 3 wide. Ryan Taylor goes up the racetrack through 1-2. Big time into Charles Ball. Tries to shoot the middle. Wells comes through. And we're here. The 20 kind of slides up. Force the 32 up into the 23. Wells keeps coming up. They make contact. The 20 goes around right there. Trey Rainey gets by. Jones takes to the inside to get by. Roman Fenway slams on the brakes. He gets hit a little right there. O'Neill comes by. She misses. Collins gets hard contact. There's Derek Hamill. Blake Petrus. Eli Bright drives through. There's Gamba getting his. He goes around. There's the 38 sliding into it. George Cooper. Max Harrison has to stop in the 98. He has some rear end damage there. But the chase has taken a big swing as Mathis Wells, who was 10th in points, only 3 points in, involved in the crash. While running inside the top 3. That's the big story there as well. It happened in front of the whole field. And look at the cars that got around. I want to know how Jeff and the others got their damage, because it looks like they were down low. I'm wondering if they wrecked after. Yeah, they did. We've seen this happen so many times where they wreck after the fact as cars try to come up. Some making contact, some checking up. Oh, the 3 guy right there by Michael Canto. He was fine until he got hit. Look how the cars tried to stop there and get by. I also want to know how O'Neill is in the 34, because she was up against the wall. I'm wondering if she got into it at all trying to miss it, or if she just drove her way through it. She was very close. Down to a little there, but I think she should be fine. She has a shot to make this chase if everything goes right. See her getting by all the madness that happened below her. Into Charles Ball, the 32. Back inside the top 5. Our race leader, though, is the 60 of Landon Lyons. A chase spot, basically for him. He's out front for the restart here at Richmond. As we come back to you, it'll be 16 laps to go once we get to the green flag. Landon Lyons out front. He's basically in at this point because there are only 37 cars on the racetrack. Lyons has led a good amount of the race, so Lyons should be safe to make the chase at this point. Out. Mitchell Collins, Ryan Brommer will not be getting in through some miracle. Mathis Wells, basically out at this point, I would have to believe. Blake Petrus, his chase chances are done. Michael Canto, he's locked in, so he doesn't have to worry about this bad race. 37 cars on the racetrack on the lead lap, as Landon Lyons leads them. In second is Ryan Taylor. Trey Rainey needs a victory here tonight to get to the top 20. 55 points out. He's third. A win means everything for him. Jay Jefferson, his chase chances got a lot better in fourth. And Charles Ball, fifth. Levi Jones, Cole Luigi, Jacob Davidson, and McDowell, Paul Taylor. Green flag back in the air. Good restart for the 60 lane lines. He gets away, but the turn 1 goes up the racetrack. Ryan Taylor to the bottom. Off the core, down the backstretch. Trey Rainey sideways, but gets in line. Taylor to the lead. Trey Rainey through to second. Jay Jefferson up to third, the 05. Do we see someone get a victory on a night where they need it? Like Jay Jefferson, like Trey Rainey. Jefferson to the inside now for the lead off turn 2. Good run to the inside down the backstretch. Gets back up in line. Now here comes the 23 up the racetrack. The 05 down to the bottom again. Through 3 and 4. Side by side for the lead. Jefferson to the inside of Taylor. Points to the reverse. The driver who needs the win to turn 1. Jefferson clears to get out front. He's hugging that yellow line. A great move by the 05. 3 wide comes Levi Jones for a second, with Luigi behind him. Sliding up in the third two into Ryan Taylor, and they're in the wall. And around they go. Trey Rainey's involved with Landon Lyons. Around goes O'Neal, the 34. Eli Bright slides in. The 1 is also involved. Yellow flag in the air. Luke Ray goes through the grass. The 22 is all right. Back in front was Jay Jefferson with 13 laps to go. And how this is going to impact how the chase goes. More cars with damage, including O'Neal, who was in a spot to try and steal a top 10 in the points. He now has damage at the back of the field in 32nd, but the contact between Ryan Taylor and the 23 as he was racing up at the front. Taylor possibly done for the night. We'll see what happens. The caution flag, which is going to set up a restart with under 10 to go, with chase spots on the line. We've seen this happen all too many times as well. As cars get together through 3 and 4 at their sharp wall, and Ryan Taylor, they get together up to the wall they go. They're not really wrecked until right here. The 25 and the 60, they spin around, and this allows others to spin around as well. Look at Marcus Sachi sideways. O'Neal gets collected right there in the 34. Luke Ray takes to the grass. How about the double zero of Heath? There's Eli sliding into it. There's John Gammett. I mean, this could set up interesting scenarios for wildcard spots. Gambit goes around. Can Luke Rainey somehow steal a win and get up into a wildcard spot? He's right now going to be scored 11th for the restart. How's Trey Rainey there to the 25? Because he hit the wall pretty hard, but it's the rear end. How bad is the rear end to that 25 car? And this is going to be crazy here at the end. The yellow flag comes out. It's going to set up a late race restart. We have drivers like Jay Jefferson who are fighting for their chase lives right now in the lead. Levi Jones just wants to win to save his season. And the driver doesn't really have anything to lose, called Luigi. And the landline is involved, but he was basically locked in at this point. So Lion should be fine for his chase. Nothing to worry about there. So with that crash, the big story, with the drivers involved, some chase drivers, but also Jay Jefferson's out front leading this race at Richmond. Can he pull off a clutch victory in the Target Series? Oh no. He's down low and yielding to the pits. From the lead, with 10 to go, we've seen it all so many times. The race leader has issues, and this time, it's Jay Jefferson, the driver who did not need it at all. Jefferson, the 05, his chase chances done. Maybe a flat tire, maybe a loose wheel. It might be something more than that, though. They're not changing tires on that 05 car. So big storyline there, as the driver who possibly could have pulled off a clutch victory like he did a few seasons ago to make the chase in the first Richmond race of the Target Series season is now done, and that hands the lead over to the wily veteran Levi Jones. Can Jones hold off the competition to win his first race of the season? We'll come back to the green flag. It'll be under 10 to go at Richmond. Green flag this time by 8 laps to go. This could be the final restart of the night. This could decide a lot in terms of driver seasons. No cars, or excuse me, the 23 did retire from that crash, so finished 37. 36 cars on the lead lap. Jay Jefferson still on the lead lap, the 05, but he's at the back now, and his chase chance is basically over. So Levi Jones on the 27 leads. Can he hold on for his first of the season? Can Luigi win from the pole in second? Adam McDowell just trying to protect his 8-point cushion in third. Paul Taylor and Jacob Davidson top 5. The only driver inside the top 5 that really has to worry about points is Adam McDowell. Two drivers push the issue on him to turn 1 and try and force him off the track to gain some positions. Luigi for the lead. 33 car in front of Richmond. As they go through 3 and 4, he slides up in front of Levi Jones. Adam McDowell is forcing the issue for second. 7 to go. He only has 8 points to work with. Yeah, one bad move for the 16 bound for this win. It could take him out. McDowell to the front, pulls away, gaps the field. Paul Taylor in second now. Jacob Davidson up into third in the 9-9. Marcus Sachi, we've not talked about him in the 12. He's up here with a shot. 6 to go. McDowell pulls ahead to a nice gap. He's hugging that bottom line. This is what he needs, but look at Jacob Davidson driving hard. 3 wide. Fenway's coming back in the 07. Remember, we said with Fenway, a chase bottom line for him in terms of wild card. He's up here inside the top 5. Don't count him out yet. 5 to go. Yellow flag win it here at Richmond. And McDowell's pulled away to a nice gap. He goes up the racetrack a little through 1 and 2. Sachi Davidson trying to close it. Oh, around they go. Luigi involved with Jones. Yellow, and this is going to end it. And McDowell's going to come back through to win at Richmond. The yellow, and it's over. McDowell's in the 16 as he's going to win. He was 8 points to the good. This win just going to all but prove that now. There's Gambit, the 87. Does he fall below Fenway now in points? Paul Taylor, Eli Bright hit the pits. Oliver Galloway in it. George Cooper may have been upside down. Riley Spurley to Derek Hamill. Is that Greg Torres I saw in the 7? O'Neal may have made it through. The 05 made it through. There's Jones with his damage. Jeff Bright. His chase is over. Anton Charlebois. That damage card's going to finish 13th. Trey Rainey 11th. Luke Rainey 8th. Sebastian Kukulon getting up 6th. The yellow out. That's it. Adam McDowell's going to win here in the 16. We'll see what happens down the backstretch. Kobu did 33, one of them involved. His night is done. Luckily, though, he's going to finish basically right where he needs to. Here they are, coming off turn 2, 3 wide. Racing up inside the top 10. Sebastian Kukulon, the 6 down the bottom lane. Slides up and into Luigi. And then Jones, Paul Taylor gets collected. Kukulon drives away. The 27 trying to controls car gets into Luigi, who spins back up across the track. Oliver Galloway, the 10, nowhere to go. Landon Lyons, the 60 involved again. Alexander Rowe comes into it. Here comes George Cooper as he gets hit. Luigi goes for a flip. There's Cooper. There's Eli. Jay Jefferson slams on the brakes. He'll get by without damage. Max Aronson was sideways to the 98. Spurley tube on the outside. Wondering how Luigi flipped there. Wasn't really focusing on him. Looks like his wreck was over, but went on another wild ride. Slides back up. Right there. I guess that hit just rolling over. So Luigi goes for a tumble here at Richmond. And they wrecked up ahead. 10 to 34 to 87. How did this happen? Oliver Galloway and the others. We've seen a lot of crazy races here at Richmond, and we saw another one. We saw one last night. We see another one here tonight. Oh yeah, the 10 comes up, the 60, the 40 Jim Gambit, Jeff Bright, O'Neal comes into it, John Gambit, Jason Larker. I mean, this is a lot of chase implications because of this crash here at the end. It's just put the Roush Fenway cars, all 3 of them in. Because McDowell's going to win. Kukulon and Landline's going to finish where they need to. McDowell's on the white flag lap. Last lap for him. As long as he makes it around 3/4 mile, he'll win the race and get into the chase for season number 7 of the Target Series. So McDowell basically in at this point. The 16. The big question is, who's going to get the other spot inside the top 10? With Wells finishing back in the 40s. Who was close enough? Did Max Aronson get enough points to get in? But with all the troubles he had, where does he finish in the 98? Max Aronson going to be 24th. That is enough to overtake Mathis Wells, obviously. But has someone else overtaken? Because it's not like Max Aronson went out on the racetrack. We still have drivers like Jason Larker with 8 back, but Larker's out of the race. How about Greg Torres, the 7? Where's he going to finish? 12th. Is that good enough to overtake Max Aronson? Is someone else trying to overtake? Checker flag in the air. And McDowell going to win here at Richmond to lock himself into the chase for season 7. He's trying to back up his championship run from 1 season ago. So McDowell wins at Richmond. Let's go see the finishing results and see who bumped their way into a chase position here at Richmond. Here are the finish results from the Toyota Care 250 at Richmond. 3 caution flags for 14 laps, the one that ended the race under the yellow flag. And 15 lead changes, 11 different drivers leading laps in this race. And McDowell, clutch win for him. He was only 8 points above the cut line, but the 16 team rose to the occasion and won here tonight for the first victory of the season and a lock-in to the chase. Jacob Davison ends up this race in second, Marcus Sachi third, Roman Fenway fourth. Is that good enough to overtake John Gambit is the big question in everyone's minds, and William Bowling rounds out the top 5. Sebastian Kukulon 6th, Justin Eads 7th, Luke Rainey 8th, in 9th was Danny Lloyd, and Jake Galloway rounds out the top 10. So as you look at the top 20, you have to know that Jay Jefferson is heartbroken. Was going to lead on that final restart, which could have been the spot to be 18th. He had to come down pit road with 10 to go from the lead under yellow due to an issue. Got some spots there at the end, but it's not enough to make the chase for him. Obviously, with no victories on the season, no chance at a wild card. 25 cars on the lead lap, 26 were running. 27th on down, out because of crashes. Landon Lyons, most laps led 8. 29th he is in, along with Luigi 33rd with a lap led from the pole. So those two, they were safe. So basically, all but one of the drivers who started start this race inside the top 10 points are going to end top 10 points. The one driver who's not going to, Matheus Wells to 20, a horrible night for him, wrecking from the top 3, 40th, and has knocked him out of the chase officially. So let's go see who the 12 drivers are that will be fighting for the championship in Season 7. Here are the drivers that will fight for the Season number 7 Target Series Championship. Ryan Taylor, William Bowen, Michael Canto, Sebastian Kukulon, Eli Bright, Landon Lyons, Cole Luigi, Adam McDowell, Oliver Galloway, Greg Torres. Top 10 in points, they're in. Our 2 wild cards are 11th and 12th in points. Roman Fenway, Max Anderson with their wins have worked their way into it with their victories and wild card spots. So the top 12 in points are the ones that advance. Jay Jefferson, Joseph Villeneuve, you have to know if they didn't have their issues at all during this race, they would have had a shot at, especially with Jefferson maybe getting the win. He definitely would have finished a lot of spots better. O'Neal definitely would have finished a lot of spots better as well. And Luke Rainey in the 22, valiant effort. He was outside the top 20 coming into this race. He ends up 15th right now in the points, and he was a few points behind our second wildcard, Max Anderson. But just think, if Fenway had 12 more points at all, it would have knocked Greg Torres out and would have put Luke Rainey into a wildcard spot. So it came down to that. John Gambit, his horrible night, ended out here 17th and not in a position. Matheus Wells falls all the way to 19th from 10th. Just shows how close the points were. Trey Rain was going to need to win. Jonathan Buford and Ryan Brown were the same there. They were all outside the top 20 in points after tonight. Cooper, Rowe, Buford, all down here with victories along with Jake Galloway. So the wild Richmond race leads into the chase for the Season 7 Target Series Championship. We started out at the 2-mile oval of Michigan, the Lowe's 250. I will see you guys then.